The Duchess, directed by Saul Dibb, is a historical film on the life of Georgiana Cavendish, Duchess of Devonshire, during the 18th century. The movie portrays her life from her marriage to William Cavendish to after the birth of her fourth child, Eliza. This movie accurately portrays Georgiana Cavendish's life and the settings, details, designs, behaviours and actions of the 18th century. Firstly, the history of Georgiana Cavendish and the events in her life are portrayed accurately. The movie largely focuses on Georgiana's love life, which in turn is represented in very accurate detail with minimal changes. For example, Georgiana's true love for Charles Grey was represented well, and her later affair with him and the situations surrounding this were all accurate. The Duchess portrays the other aspects in Georgiana's life accurately, although in lesser detail due to keeping the audiences interested. The movie also has precise characterization of all characters during the time and their role in Georgiana's life. Overall, The Duchess follows the history of Georgiana Cavendish very accurately, with none to very few changes due to 21st century influences.
The filmmakers of The Duchess insightfully portray an accurate picture of late 18th century settings, details and design in the historical film using appropriate costuming, buildings and sets/locations. The choice of fashion and hairstyles illustrate this, as people wore flamboyant clothes with wigs or had huge hair, specifically with large feathers, pearls and lace. The buildings are massive, sentimental and filled with excessive interior designs, a classic representation of the late 18th century. The extravagant sets and locations accurately portray the time period, as they lived on large estates with the upper-class people having perfectly trimmed hedges and water fountains in their gardens. After watching this historical film, I would say that The Duchess is an accurate portrayal of the late 18th century for settings, details and designs.
The writers and filmmakers of The Duchess depict a precise snapshot of the late 18th century behaviour and actions in the film, using the characters' body language and voice to accurately portray life and society in the 18th century. The choice of language and bodily expressions shows this, as the characters in the film use words that wouldn't necessarily be spoken or used today in the 21st century. They use proper language and pronounce everything precisely, which reflects the time period. The way the characters walk shows a sense of grace and elegance, and once again reflects accurately on the time period, the late 18th century. After watching The Duchess, I would say that this historical film accurately depicts the late 18th century through behaviour and body language used within the characters in the film.
As seen through these examples, The Duchess accurately represents the true life of Georgiana Cavendish through correct chronology, settings, details, designs, behaviours and actions of the 18th century.